Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Yes! What's going on, you
Yes!
guys? It's me, Matthew, here with
Yes!
my little brother Steven, and we are the Casual Smarks podcast coming to you live from Vacaville, California. And it's a rainy day, and me and my brother, we're huge wrestling fans, and we decided why not give this a shot? Hell, we have a lot of opinions that we want to share with you guys, and
A
don't
lot of
judge
opinions.
us. Don't judge us because this is the first time we're doing this. This is kind of a test run, pilot, whatever it is. So just bear with us. But today we're going to kind of go through um, Monday Night Raw, NXT, Smackdown, and we're going to give predictions for WWE Roadblock this Saturday. And yeah, I mean, we're just going to kind of go with it. We'll start with Monday Night Raw. You have anything to add, Steven?
I think we're ready to go into the show.
Okay. I do have one more thing to add. I was thinking about why do we call ourselves the Casual Smarks? Well, because we're smarks. Me and my little brother are smarks, but we like to look at things, or at least me. I don't know about you, but I look at things through a kind of casual lens. And I'm not saying that like a Vince Russo thing. I can't stand most of Vince Russo's opinions. However, I like to look at things from both perspectives. I like to look at things from my perspective as a smarky, smart mark. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, I like to look at like, okay, do I only like this because I'm a mark? I mean, would the masses like this? And I think there's room for both. I think you want to find a sweet medium. If you listen to like Vince Russo or someone like that, he'll say completely on the masses side, and then if you listen to any IWC fan, he'll say completely on the, we just want wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Who cares about you? I'm in the middle. That's how I like to think of things. But anyways, we're gonna start with Monday Night Raw, which I thought was it started off strong. It started off really strong, and I think it kind of went downhill from there.
That third
We opened
hour.
that third hour, yeah. But we opened up with a segment. Shane McMahon came out, basically responded to Vince McMahon's promo the previous week. Vince McMahon basically saying, "No, you're not my son. If anything, you're a son of a bitch." Whatever. Yeah, I totally botched that, but Shane McMahon came out to a really good pop, and he talked about how he was watching Raw with his little boys, and his little boys were watching the TV, and I don't know. Basically, the point of the promo was to say, "Hey, you could say what you want, Dad, but I'm here. I'm going to win my match at WrestleMania, and you're a bastard." I think that's how he ended the promo before Vince came
Yeah,
out and interrupted him, right?
yeah, and he stepped on his photo of them too.
Oh
Which
yeah. Well,
I
no,
got
that's what I'm about to get to. So Vince McMahon, you hear, no chance in hell. Vince McMahon comes out and cuts this scathing promo about Shane McMahon, kind of jubilant, and he has this photo of Shane from when they went on a fishing trip as kids, and he steps on the photo. That leads to Shane McMahon getting thrown out by security, or at least attempted to get thrown out by security. Vince sends his cronies out, and we see Shane, throwing those Anderson Silva punches there. Oh yeah, Whew.
They
What did
got
you
some
think about
really strong security guards.
oh, the
Five
top
people couldn't beat up how old Shane? 46, 47?
a multi-billion-dollar company couldn't afford four security guards that could get a 46-year-old man who hasn't wrestled in what 10 years, maybe 8 years. It's been a while. It's been
New on
2009.
demand for a while or whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cheesy, but I mean, whatever. Dean Ambrose throws some pretty shitty punches too. So at the end of the day,
Can't forget about Charlotte.
at the end of the day, it's sports entertainment, right? I hate that word. Ugh, I hate that word. But anyways, moving on. So I mean, what do you think about the Shane match at WrestleMania? By the way,
It was a surprise. I wanted that hope for Finn Balor.
that could still
They
happen.
just kind of, nah.
Hey, I think that could still happen. Because think of it. How is Shane McMahon supposed to win this match? Well, actually, let me backtrack for a second. So, here's what I don't like about this feud, okay? You have Shane McMahon, who's a face, going against Undertaker, who, no matter what you do, he's a face, okay? And so, why would Undertaker, who's supposed to be the supernatural deity who's not controlled by anyone, why would he basically play the role of henchman for Vince? I don't get that at all. I don't understand why the Undertaker would fight for Vince.
Because he's Vince McMahon, damn it.
No, all we got was a shitty one sentence explanation the week before. Oh, whatever happens to your son, it's on you. Okay, they better explain that, because if they don't explain that, then that's a huge hole in the logic of this feud. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But that leads me to, how is Shane? There's no way Shane can beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Undertaker's gonna lay in the middle of the ring. Come on.
Unless there's outside interference. Yeah, he could do that. But could you imagine him lying down in Dallas, Texas, in front of 100,000 people, his home state?
Yeah. I mean, does it really matter if he loses now since he already lost?
Huh? Well, no, it doesn't. But to Shane? To a guy who's not even a wrestler? And by the way, I was reading an article today on WrestlingInc.com that was about Shane McMahon. Why are we popping so hard for him? Why? Because we haven't seen him in 7 years? In reality, if you go back to his work, yeah, he took some really awesome bumps, like really like crazy bumps. But at the same time, like, if you look at the bulk of his work, it's kind of mediocre. At least in the ring. He's not really the best in-ring worker. He's really good at spots, and that's because he's the boss's son, and they can orchestrate these spots, hours, days, weeks beforehand, so that he's absolutely safe. Now, don't get me wrong. There was that Kurt Angle German suplex into the plexiglass that was supposed to be like fake glass, but it wasn't. And then he was like, "Fuck it, throw me through again." But and you can. Sorry, is this supposed to be a PG podcast? Because
no.
Okay, because If I say the F word, I'm sorry. I'll try to not curse as much.
I already said Vince McMahon. Damn it.
Well, damn it's fine, but F words and stuff like that. You never know. Oh, by the way, CM Punk shirt right there. He got his legit boss shirt on. CM Punk's my favorite wrestler of all time, and I know Smarks hate that because he trashes wrestling now. But hey, me and my little brother here, we were there for the pipe bomb promo. So,
in Vegas.
Cut us some slack. And, hey, you got to admit, they kind of gave him the wrong end of the deal. If you haven't listened
to that, a Raw Roulette episode, too?
I don't think so. I know it started off with HBK and CM Punk in the ring.
Because there was 2 tapings on that show we went to.
It might have been Raw Roulette. Have they done that? I don't think they've done that.
Never done that.
In a while.
They've stopped.
No, yeah.
For whatever reason.
But anyways, we're kind of lagging a little bit. So let's move on to the next segment. The next segment was probably, honestly, my favorite of the night.
Match of the night, yeah.
Well, match of the night for sure. Neville and Kevin Owens, they can go. And it kills me what they've done to Neville since moving up to the main roster. I mean, I get it. Vince likes his big guys, his big, tall Samoan Jesuses. No, sorry. I wasn't talking about Roman Reigns. No, Roman Reigns is the man.
He's a great wrestler. He just had an amazing match with Finn Balor, taped 6 weeks before.
Yeah,
the size factor in WWE.
It just pisses me off that you had Neville, or Adrian Neville. I still call him Adrian Neville because, God damn it, he is Adrian Neville.
What happened to Adrian? Damn it!
No, they had him debut with a cape, and I mean now he's just pretty much that classic comic book low card. Character that, I mean, that seems that's kind of the destiny for a lot of the NXT talent. I read an article. I forget what website it was, but that Vince only sees NXT as a sideshow, really, and there's only a few talents that Vince likes, and it's causing a little bit of a rift between Vince and Triple H backstage. I mean, take that with a grain of salt. You never know, but that's just what I read. But no, you had this. It was a really good match when through commercial break, and basically ended. Neville hit the red arrow from the second rope. Kevin Owens kicked out. Neville went back up to hit it from the top rope, and then basically Owens went for a roll up. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So after the match, Kevin Owens tried to attack Neville, and he kept beating him up. Eventually, got to the outside. Kevin Owens tries to hit him with the pop-up powerbomb on the apron, and then...
Watch us get flagged for copyright.
Not now. That's 15 seconds. Let's go! All right, that's 10 seconds. Sami Zayn.
God, we're
so main roster.
Such nerds. Yeah, but he makes his third main roster debut. Once last year against John Cena in a great match that he got injured in. I don't know why he's still doing this.
Why is he?
Stop,
Sammy! Stop it!
He's gonna blow out his shoulder. But he debuted against Cena, debuted at the Royal Rumble again, and now he is, I think, on the main roster to stay. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there's no way he's going back. I mean, I think he'll have his swan song with Nakamura at TakeOver Dallas. Spoiler alert! You guys already know. You guys already saw he lost the 60-day man or 2 out of 3 falls match on NXT. My bad, guys. You already saw that he lost a 2 out of 3 falls match on NXT, and I think they're just going to announce it within a week or two that he's going to go against Nakamura. That's pretty much common knowledge. I've known that since before. I've known that for like a month and a half now. So I mean, sorry if I spoiled that for you, but it is what it is. What?
You think they'll give him like some video packages?
Nakamura?
Didn't they do it for what's his face from what's his name, Liger? They hyped up Liger.
They probably will. They're gonna. I mean, a lot of people know. NXT fans for sure know Nakamura already. God, I'm so happy to see him in the WWE. I am so happy to see him in the WWE. It was so crazy that I watched Nakamura and AJ Styles at Wrestle Kingdom 10, and then the day after, it was both these guys might be coming to the WWE. By the way, match of the year still, in my opinion. Actually, no, I take that back. The next match was the match of the year. Dude, they had 3 match of the year candidates in that movie.
I just watched the Goto Nakamura match. That was the first time
on New Japan on Access. Yeah.
Yeah. Commentated by JR. That was a really
pretty
good
match.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not in his prime anymore, and you know, he's still the best, if not second best, in the game.
I just want a Ronaldo JR announcing team, but I don't
think that would work out.
Oh yeah,
because they're both play-by-play. I think you know what I would
Graves,
like.
MR.
I would like Corey Graves and Morrow or JR and Corey Graves. Corey Graves is the best, at least because I don't really watch everything, but from what I hear, and this is a mainly WWE podcast, we might end up getting the Ring of Honor and New Japan and Lucha Underground if Vampiro is pretty good. But no, I mean, we might get into all that stuff if you guys ask for it. But for now, this podcast, this Casual Smarks podcast, will be WWE focused, and then we'll move on from there. But yeah, no, I think Amaro, Corey Graves announced team would be pretty good on Raw. That'd be what's up.
I agree. Switch back to 2 announcers for sure, because I'm tired of hearing Maggle, some weird Byron Saxon phrases, and then Michael Cole saying, "It's just a barricade." Woo!
As this match continues, but Vintage Orton. God, okay, wait, we're way off track though. So yeah, so what do you think about Sami Zayn debuting on the main roster for the 3rd time? Are you happy to see him there? I know I'm happy to see him there.
I am so happy to see him there.
Where do you think they're going with
NXT for 2 years? I mean, it's either the one-on-one match with Owens, or it's the Fatal 4-Way with The Miz, and the tag team match they had on SmackDown, Miz and Owens and Neville and Sami Zayn.
So here's
maybe a ladder match or something.
You and I had talked about this before, but here's kind of what I think about this. At first, I was thinking of all the options, and I was like, wow, God, just please give us Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens one-on-one. That would be so great. They could show the NXT video packages. They can cut these awesome promos, and it would just be awesome. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, that would be me relying on WWE Creative to actually do a good job with their story. And we all know that main roster creative doesn't give a fuck if it isn't have to do if there's Samoa and Jesus. If it's not Roman Reigns, they don't put any effort into the feuds. Y2J's been single-handedly carrying the Y2J AJ feud. That's an anomaly. I heard he's been politicking backstage. Like, he's the one who politicked for the Styles Clash to be used in their match at Fastlane. So anyways.
Hey, what happened to Mick Foley's son? Wasn't he supposed to join creative at the beginning of the year or something?
He is.
He's on creative now?
Okay. I think he's a consultant, so it doesn't really matter. But no, but anyways, here's my thing. So yeah, that would be relying too much on creative to do a good job with them. And I also don't want to see either one of them get pinned cleanly at WrestleMania. So I would love for it to be a fatal 4-way or 6-man ladder match or whatever they do. I would like it for, I think, a good ending to that match. And I've told you this before. A good ending for that match would be, Sami Zayn hitting the haluva kick on, say, Tyler Breeze or, no, The Miz. Let's say The Miz, because The Miz was actually in this. Hits a haluva kick on The Miz. He goes for the pin. Kevin Owens is outside the ring, pulls Sami Zayn off, power bombs him on the apron or whatever he wants to do. Slides in the ring, steals Sami Zayn's pin. So that way, Sami Zayn's the one who caused the 1-2-3, and then Kevin Owens steals the pin, and then they have a legitimate reason to have a feud moving forward, going into Extreme Rules and Payback and whatever pay-per-views they have planned afterwards. Because they've been changing the pay-per-view plans after WrestleMania. I don't know off the top of my head what the current plan is. But yeah, no, that's what I think would be the best.
Hopefully they progress the feuds. Instead of just having it be at WrestleMania and this be done.
I'm going to give The Miz some credit really quick. His stuff as of late has been really good. I know that I hate saying that because I really don't like The Miz. But
he main evented WrestleMania.
But hey, he's doing a good job, right? I really don't like him. He's a heel, and he's great on the mic. And honestly, his work, as long as he's in there with someone who's competent, like an AJ Styles, like a Kevin Owens, like a Sami Zayn.
That was a good match.
If someone can carry him, they can carry him to a great match. So I'm going to give The Miz some props here.
Yeah, he made AJ Styles a lot more credible.
Yeah, he did. He did. I like the slow build to this Y2 AJ feud. I like the slow build to this feud. And I don't know. I'm kind of about them having another one-on-one match because we've already seen it 3 times and we've already seen the best 2 out of 3. Why do we need to see it 4th? And it almost scares me that Y2J is going to get the 4th at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Because 50-50 booking, let's give them both 2 wins.
I just realized we're really off track. We are not even on the next segment.
No, that's fine. That's fine because this is a really big. There's really nothing that much big else of noteworthy.
Oh, this next match is very noteworthy, Matt.
Oh, you mean are we going to move on to? Well, first, the next segment I believe was a backstage segment with Dolph Ziggler and Stephanie, and I loved this segment. You know why I love this segment? Because it took something that was on Twitter. Dolph Ziggler basically tweeted, "Hey, remember last or 2 years ago at Survivor Series when I single-handedly beat the Authority and you guys got fired?" And Stephanie was like, "Well, hey, guess what? Obviously didn't work because we're still here," and put Ziggler in this match. I'm not really too thrilled about, but put him in a 1-on-3 handicap match against the League of Nations. I liked it because there was a lot on the wrestling websites. There was all this like, oh, Dolph Ziggler had a tweet removed. Was it corporate or was it the people up top who?
I thought it might have been real.
I thought it might have been real, and I liked how they played off of that. Maybe it was real, and then they realized, hey, we can turn this into a segment. Then again, that's giving creative a lot of credit that they don't.
Well, they do a lot of last second stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Can you hear the? You can cut this out, but can you hear her in the kitchen?
No.
Okay, good. All right. No, but anyways.
Yeah, next segment. Pre-mode.
I don't know what she's saying. It sounds like a mixture of a lot of things that are really not that appropriate, and I'm not going to indulge in that.
Free Villa versus Summer Rae. So there was a Divas commercial, and her ratings are going down and down and down and down, which I'm happy about.
All right. We all know what happens, okay? We all know they have a shitty match, and then Lana comes out, causes distraction. Summer Rae gets to roll up. 1, 2, 3. Here's what I don't understand.
Yep.
1, why is Lana helping out Summer Rae? We wasted 5 months of our lives with them wife swapping or husband swapping, and we had this whole Ruru like it just makes me cringe. Calm yourself. But you have that. Plus, why was Lana coming out in her Dolph Ziggler attire? That was.
Hey, man. I'm all up for it.
That helped. No. Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm going to tell you one thing. I sat second row at WWE San Jose. It was a house show, and I saw Lana up close, and she's smoking. Regardless, it made no sense. And does anyone want to see Lana and Brie? Who wants to see that? I hope, if anything, it should be a pre-show match.
Hey, she came out and hit the Bella Buster, or her face buster. One of the best face busters of all time. Hands down. She has a pretty good face buster, you can't lie.
That is like the easiest move.
I'm just saying.
You just got really loud. That is like the easiest move to perform in wrestling history. I'm not giving her credit. But anyways, so there was that. And what comes up next? So yeah, Summer Rae wins that match. Lana comes out. Then we get a Dean Ambrose promo, and which I also really enjoy. Some people are half and half on this. I've heard some people say, "Oh, that he's starting to sound kind of hokey. He's trying too hard to be funny." I felt some genuine emotion coming from him, and the entire time I'm thinking, why isn't this the WrestleMania feud? Why, for one,
Roman hasn't been there for 2 weeks.
Where's Roman been? It's been 2 weeks. Why isn't Roman helping out his friend? Oh, he broke his nose. Okay, so what? Ouch, he got an ouchie on his nose. He can still punch, okay? And he can wear a face guard. Hey, LeBron James plays basketball when he has a hurt nose. Kyrie Irving. How many people have we seen in other sports where there's face guards? Have him come out with a face guard. Oh, wait, I know why. Because that would affect his good looks, and we got to make Roman look strong. If he wears a face mask, he looks weak, damn it. However, I'm watching this, and I'm like, this would be such a great WrestleMania feud. Dean Ambrose is over. He's over. And the fans...
Roadblock.
Yes, we're getting it at Roadblock. You're right. And it's an obvious result. The result of WrestleMania is obvious. Even if they do something crazy, we all know Roman's going over some way or another. If they turn him heel, great. But he's going over. Especially, they're not going to change it 2 years in a row. You know what I mean? Well, that's going off track. Anyways, point being, Ambrose is so over, and he's pretty much now relegated to jobbing the Triple H at Roadblock and then jobbing to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And then he lose his last feud too. He lost a triple threat match. So that'll be 3 pay-per-views / live events, special events that he's lost in a row. They're like turning him into the Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I just, it makes me sad, man. It makes me so sad. But yeah, no, he cuts a pretty good promo. Triple H comes out, interrupts him. And what was, I forget exactly what was Triple H's point of view in this?
This says he hates to ruin Ambrose's little fantasy. I don't know,
yeah.
Like, whatever.
Basically calls him a delusional and then announces a Bray Wyatt Ambrose match. See, that part was kind of lame, but I thought Ambrose's initial promo was really good, and then Triple H's involvement, I think it was unnecessary, and it just brought down the quality of the segment. I think they should have just left Triple H out of that, had Ambrose cut that promo, and then at the end of the night still have Triple H come out. You know what I mean? I think you could have done a backstage segment where Triple H was like, hey, screw Ambrose talking all this junk. We're going to put him in a match against Bray Wyatt. You could have done that.
Yeah, he said the authority always wins, all that stuff. Blah, blah, blah.
Moving on. So now we do have that elimination match with we're just gonna kind of roll over this.
I didn't pay attention to this match.
I didn't either. I mean, it was kind of obvious what was going to happen. I was surprised Ziggler eliminated one of them. He eliminated Barrett, which shouldn't be that surprising.
I mean, he's not re-signing with the company.
And we're gonna kind of. I'm just gonna skip ahead because on SmackDown it didn't really matter either. He got a pin on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just a who cares match unless
trying to make him a teeny tiny bit strong is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Teeny tiny bit.
So League of Nations win. And then after the match, they celebrate. They do another recap video, which they do way too much of. So next we have a video package showing Shane McMahon in his career, all the crazy spots he's taken during the course of his career. They showed that German suplex that was botched, and that was pretty cool. Or was it a belly to belly? I think it was a belly to belly. Anyways, you know what I mean. But I thought, once again, the WWE's video editing team coming through. I mean, they are the real MVPs. I am amazed every time I see them do what they do. It's crazy. It's crazy.
They're great.
It's great. I mean, it made me. I was really into that, and they need to do more of that, and they need to do more of that for more characters. You know what I mean? There's a lot of just filler matches and a lot of just filler segments on Raw where I really think you could have the video team produce something and advance a feud, advance a character, make a vignette. Just build more hype and heat around the prod. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. It's like they could do so much more, especially when you have a 3-hour show and most of it's filler. But so yeah, they had that. And then moving forward, we do have we have a Becky Lynch Sasha segment, which was really nothing. I love Becky and I love Sasha. I'm not knocking them, but I mean, it just was kind of like basically, I guess, showing a little bit of friction between the two. I mean, they're already in a triple threat match against Charlotte at WrestleMania. It was basically, hey, I'm going to win. No, I'm going to win. But hey, tonight we're going to work together to beat Team Bad. Right? That's pretty much the gist of it. So Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks win the match against Team Bad, obviously. Isn't that when doesn't Charlotte come out afterwards and attack Becky and Sasha?
I believe so. I'm trying to look right now. Yeah, Charlotte attacks her from behind. She gets booed, and Becky runs in and Charlotte gets a suplex on her.
Yeah, no, I mean,
making Charlotte look strong.
It served its purpose. Now, obviously, we forgot, so I mean, it wasn't too memorable. But I mean,
Ric Flair.
But I mean, I think unconsciously we're thinking. I think unconsciously we're thinking to ourselves like, "Hey, these." Oh my bad. I think unconsciously we're thinking to ourselves, "All right, Charlotte's a pretty credible threat, and she just took out 2 of the top divas in the division." I still wish they would have went with Sasha versus Charlotte 1-on-1. I love Becky, but I feel like you have Sasha is such a superstar. I mean, she's my favorite. Well, she's top 3 for me of all active competitors in the world, not just in the WWE, but in the world. Okay, and I mean, I would put Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens on that list as well, and Sami Zayn's close, if not bump off. I mean, I almost put it's like Kevin Owens / Sami Zayn because they're both so good when they're together, and I don't know, but anyways. But Sasha, I think, could be the best wrestler in the company, or at least the most over superstar in the company if booked right. Now, of course, this is WWE, so they won't ever have her as their top person. But I think she has the natural charisma, in-ring talent, and just overall it factor to where she could be if you had a promoter, put the time and effort into making her that. That's controversial, but
yeah. So in WWE, their triple threats are always like the same things. One person gets
outside the ring, and then you have the 2 people fight it out in the ring. Then somehow that person gets thrown out, another person comes in, and then they'll have at the end where they all do like their quick spot, and then someone wins.
So that's why I feel like that take away from the match a little bit. I'm trying to see just a normal 1-on-1, but they got to get more divas on the card. So.
Next, we have, and we're going to talk about 2 of these. In fact, we might as well just talk about them both.
Did you laugh? Now. Is it Golden Truth or something? Is that why it's funny? Is it really? I just guessed.
It's the best segment of the night.
What is this? Like backstage segment number 13 or something like that?
So Golden Truth just had this miraculous segment where R-Truth comes in with a pizza. And, tries to look at Goldust. Goldust is like, well, aren't you just going to shove it into my face or something like that? And he says, if you were a real tag team partner, you'd know I was lactose intolerant. And it's going to give me like the poops or whatever he says.
And his butt would explode.
Yeah.
Like, what? What?
Nonsense. It's such nonsense. So now they're basically reversing. Goldust was trying to make this is like what the 11th segment or the 10th, and then the 11th was on SmackDown. They're pretty much reversing. Goldust was trying to get R-Truth to be his partner. Now R-Truth was trying to get Goldust to be his partner. I still am cracking up over the segment where he basically busts a nut on R-Truth's wife. like, like, God, it's been so bad.
Yeah, and after that backstage segment, Mark Henry gets the deep dish pizza.
That was good. Hey, he did what I would have done in that situation. I would have went after that pizza. That pizza looked good.
Yeah.
Chicago. I've had Chicago pizza before, man. That's what's up. It's the best. But yeah, then just no. Let's just talk about the SmackDown one because why not? So on SmackDown, it carries on, and Goldust is sitting in a bathroom stall and he's taking a dump, and he runs out of toilet paper. And R-Truth comes in as the great tag team partner with a roll of toilet paper.
Why is the cameraman in there?
Why? Yeah, why is the cameraman in there? Why? Okay, a vision I never needed to see was Dustin Runnels without his pants on.
For real, he pretty much was. I mean, he probably had underwear on, but
oh my god,
just wearing a shirt.
Just nonsense. And we're gonna get a Golden Truth tag team. They're gonna be a lower card tag. God forbid they actually feud for the tag team championships. I mean, I guess a New Day Golden Truth segment would be entertaining, but you're bringing the New Day down 4 or 5 pegs, like that.
It's been 2 months of them having video packages. They wouldn't, or not video packages, backstage segments.
Yeah,
they're not going to try to give them a title shot when they're actually a team, which just needs to happen already. Please save us the butt exploding segments.
Anyways, so we had that. Then we actually had a tag team match. Speaking of the New Day versus Y2AJ for the tag team champions. And honestly, the match was amazing. The post match was amazing. The spot, I love the ending where, what was it? Y2J, he had a code breaker, right? And then he went up to the top rope and he tried to hit another code breaker. Big E catches him in midair.
Big ending.
And does the big ending. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I think I know what it was. He tried for the no, I know what he did. He tried for the big ending, and then Y2J countered into a code breaker. Y2J goes up to the top rope. Big E gets up. Y2J tries to do a code breaker from the top rope. Then he turns it into a big ending. Lays him out. 1, 2, 3. They made Big E look strong, which I think was needed. Big E needs to look strong.
We were talking about
powerhouse, and he has the charisma. He has the promo skills. I mean, Big E has a lot of talent. He could be upper card, in my opinion. He could be main event if they.
We were talking about how they forgot about Neville's name. They forgot what happened to the Langston, man.
Biggie Langston.
Biggie Langston.
No, Biggie Langston team. Big E Langston teamed with AJ Lee, and they don't want AJ. But Big E did it.
Team with AJ. Big E Langston teamed it. Yeah.
But anyways, so basically, New Day retains their champions, and then after the match, you have Y2J holding AJ. I wanted to say Y2AJ, but you have Y2J holding AJ, and for what I think was a little bit of a. It was a little bit too long. You could tell it was going to be there was a heel turn coming, but yeah, Y2J turns heel and then unleashes hell on AJ Styles.
Hits him with
the living crap out of him. Go ahead.
3 code breakers.
3 code breakers. I mean, just completely annihilates him. Calls him a son of a bitch. Y2J lost his mind, and this carries on over the SmackDown. We'll talk about that later. But we next, then we have a backstage segment. Y2J and Renee Young, and basically he was just. I thought the reasoning was kind of lame. Jericho was upset that they were cheering for AJ Styles all night, but they won't be cheering for Styles much longer. Which honestly, yeah. I mean, if you watch SmackDown too. If you watch SmackDown, it was still pretty 50-50, and which I mean, I think it's gonna. AJ Styles is such a phenomenal talent. Oh God, I used the phenomenal pun, but he is. AJ Styles is such a phenomenal talent, and I've really liked what they've been doing with the two. It's been a really well built feud, in my opinion. So, next we have Kalisto versus Tyler Breeze in a Who the Fuck Cares match. Kalisto wins. Did you even remember that match happen? I didn't remember that match happened until right now. Yeah, I mean Tyler Breeze. When he's on TV, he's gonna take a pin, basically.
I know.
So, remember
Be the
what was
save.
it, like 2 or 3 weeks ago when Kevin Owens won the title and he was in that fatal 4-way match. We all knew he was going to be the one that took the pin, regardless of who won, and he did. Next up, I think
they introduced Big Boss Man to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, which is, I think, well deserved. To run out of people to put in the Hall of Fame, so why not?
For sure, there's a lot of people this year. I mean, that's just counting.
I totally forgot about this. Next, we have a promo with Kalisto, and Kalisto does his generic Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero. I grew up watching these guys.
WrestleMania.
I can't wait to work at WrestleMania. And oh god, he's so bad. I know the way I just imitated him was a complete botch, but I think that was more entertaining than his actual promo because at least it was funny. Anyways, then to make things worse, you have Ryback interrupt the promo.
I feel like Vince wrote this promo. I swear.
Like Vince's wet dream, just to bury anyone who was under 6'1", 6'2", and who was not a bodybuilder. It was basically, you're small and you aren't worth you shouldn't have what you have. And yes, you're an underdog, but at the end of the day, I'm better because I'm bigger.
Yeah, Ryback doesn't like the little guys. I mean, I guess
Ryback says he makes guys like Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds look like Ant-Man. Right? I mean, so bad. I don't know what they're doing with Ryback. I don't is Ryback coming up with this stuff by himself? I know he had a big plan he was going to pitch to Vince. Was this his big plan? It looks like to me he's basically going back to his bully gimmick that he did like a year ago, and it didn't work then. And it was okay, but it's not.
Yeah, fans were chanting Goldberg during this also.
Well, he asked for it. Have you seen his attire?
The trunks.
Now he has black trunks.
It kind of went away after a while, and now once he put it back on the trunks, it's Goldberg.
I think he should play into it. I think he should do the jackknife. I think. Oh, wait, by the way, speaking of playing into it, he hits those running knees, and then he mocks the crowd with the go to sleep. You know what, man? I get it. CM Punk, kind of put you on blast, and he's been on record. He's put you on blast a couple of times for messing with his shoulder, his neck, and injuring him. You accidentally you were supposed to throw him through a table, and then you hit the ground and stuff like that. But I mean, Ryback, let it go. Let it go. I guess great. I guess you could say that was good healing, but there wasn't even there in Chicago. There really wasn't even a lot of heat from the crowd. Oh my God, we forgot about something earlier too. I'm gonna backtrack to the first segment really quick. Speaking of Chicago and CM Punk, how about Vince McMahon controlling the crowd in that segment when they started with the CM Punk chants and Vince McMahon was like, "Oh, okay, it's not going to last that long," and then it didn't last that long. Before that, they were chanting "asshole." He said the same thing. He's like, "Is that all you got?" And Vince McMahon's a maestro. Sorry, that was just a quick insert there because we forgot to mention it earlier. But anyway, so Ryback versus Curtis Axel, and Ryback wins. I mean, we'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. He just leaves the ring, whatever, and then. We missed this. I think we fast forwarded past this because we live on the West Coast, so we were a little bit behind. We recorded a little bit. Vince was talking to Stephanie, and Stephanie was talking about Shane. See, we didn't watch this, did we? We're gonna have to go back.
This happened?
Yeah, it did. We didn't see this.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at that right now. I don't remember that.
Basically, from what I heard it on a couple podcasts, and basically Stephanie was like, "What if, Shane wins?" And Vince is like, "Oh, no."
Then.
No, she did this again a couple weeks ago too. I don't remember watching this. What if Shane wins? And he's like, "Well, but he won't." But she's like, "But what if?" And he's like, "You just got to trust me. He won't." Basically, that was the segment. And I'm very interested to see how this whole power struggle thing culminates. I wonder if there really is any politicking going on backstage.
Chris Jericho's politicking, so.
Yeah, a little bit. Chris Jericho, he's a legend, and Chris Jericho, he knows what he needs to do to get AJ Styles over. And even though Y2J isn't as sharp as he used to be in the ring, I think that he's still mentally, he's still a ring general, and he still has, what it takes up here. to be successful. So then we get the main event, which I tuned out of because I knew what the finish was going to be. I knew that the Wyatt family was going to get involved and get Bray disqualified, and they made the Wyatt family look kind of strong. You had Wyatt hit the Sister Abigail. Triple H came out, and from what there was one part about the segment that I liked, and it was the stare down between Bray and Triple H, and you could just tell that Bray Wyatt. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Okay, keep going.
No, but you could just tell that Bray Wyatt is yearning for a face turn. Like, he needs it bad. His character has been buried and buried and buried by Triple H's huge golden shovel. And it buried and buried and buried that a face turn would work. And it would be a great breath of fresh air into his character.
They're like SmackDown's main guys. Like, they're always advertising them with their SmackDown.
Love that pop, right? Huge pop.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Huge stare down, epic stare down. Crowd goes wild. They want this match.
And regardless of how badly they've buried Bray Wyatt, regardless of how badly they've buried him up until this point, he still has heat. He still has the crowd still reacts to him. His entrance is a babyface entrance. He can easily turn his promos into babyface promos. I think he needs a face turn, and JR agrees with me. JR mentioned that in his many of times in his blog. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I wish this was the WrestleMania match, but instead he's going against Roman Reigns. Woohoo!
Yeah, I think that would be very interesting. Maybe have the Wyatt family take over Raw. If they're gonna keep the Wyatts heel, or even if they turn them face,
add some more members.
Keep adding members. Keep on adding members. Yes. Like, literally, they're the worst cult ever. What type of cult only has 4 members for 3 years? You know what I mean? Oh, they had Daniel Bryan for a couple months. Okay, whoop-de-doo. But, like, they need to start taking over the entire roster, or at least half the roster, you know what I mean? And just take over Raw, take down the Authority. I think it would be awesome to have the Wyatts running Raw. Kind of like the Nexus did for a little while, They botched that storyline, but, it could have been great, you know what I mean? And the same thing with the Wyatts. You can have the Wyatts convert half the roster, a lot of the lower card guys, maybe get Ryback, convert Ryback. Ryback would be a legitimate, mid card guy, and I wouldn't like Kevin Owens in that regard. I think he should do his own thing, but I think there's some directions you can go with that. And I don't know. That was Raw.
That was Raw. Now next.
No, wait, no, hold up. So overall, what would you grade Raw? I'd give it probably I personally. Are we gonna go out of 10? Or are we gonna give it stars?
Let's go out of 10.
Out of 10, okay. I'm gonna give it a solid, probably 6.
I was gonna say 6.5, 6.
Yeah, because I think the opening segment was really good. It was good. I thought I loved Sam. This is just because I'm a huge Sami Zayn guy, but I love the Sami Zayn Owens stuff. The Y2J New Day match was excellent.
Yeah, and, I said the Neville Kevin Owens match was match of the night. It was definitely the tag team match.
But the problem is that the last hour totally ruined it because you had Tyler Breeze versus Tyler. Who was it? Who was that again? See, it's hard to even remember these matches because they're so forgettable. But yeah, Tyler Breeze. Yeah, it was Tyler Breeze, Kalisto, Curtis Axel, Ryback. Who cares? I don't.
Yeah, it's filler.
I know you don't. It's filler. And that's the problem with these 3-hour Raws is there's too much filler. You could do this stuff on Superstars. Tyler Breeze versus Kalisto is a Superstars match.
Who watches Superstars? Is it just on, the website?
Huh?
Is Superstars on the website just to watch?
It's on the network and on Hulu and shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is on the network.
All right, anyways, moving forward, now we're going to talk about NXT on Wednesday.
Which I have some notes for.
You have some notes for? Okay, cool, because I have nothing written down. I just know that it was awesome. You had a 2 out of 3 falls match with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, which a lot of people are... Okay, go ahead.
William Regal came out. And he confirmed the Austin Aries Baron Corbin match for NXT TakeOver Dallas.
Forgot about that. Yes, that's gonna be awesome. I don't know if you guys watching this have seen a lot of Austin Aries' work, but he's very, very fast paced. He's a high flyer, great technical wrestler, and I think him against Corbin, someone who's tall, who's shown the
Really
last
good
year
lately.
that he can hang in with the best. And I think the clashing styles between Aries and Corbin, I think it's going to make for a phenomenal match. God, I love Baron Corbin. I mean, he seems like such a douche and such a douche in real life, but that's what makes him great. He's a
They
great heel.
they progressed that on Breaking Ground as well.
And honestly, let's be real, guys. Out of all the people in NXT right now, because a lot of them would be in Vince's terms, or well, Kevin Nash coined the term, but this is what Vince would think of them. A lot of NXT superstars right now are, for lack of a better word, vanilla midgets, right? they're small indie guys, and I hate that term. I think honestly they should treat wrestling more like a sport, and you could even do it like the UFC. I mean, Conor McGregor, he's a smaller guy, but I don't know, he just lost, but he's one of their top stars. Same thing with Ronda Rousey. She's a woman and she's 135 pounds, but she's a top star. You don't need a 6'3", 260-pound Samoan badass to be your top star. Okay, you just don't. You can have a guy like Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn be your top star. But anyways, regardless, it says we had 2 viewers. But no, regardless, yeah. Go ahead.
I think Vince McMahon really will like Baron Corbin. I think he'll push him as the top guy.
What I was going to say. Yeah, Baron Corbin, I mean, out of all the people in NXT right now, probably has the brightest future because of his look, because of his size, and because he's just great. I think he's overall great. I used to not like him. He used to be very green, and he's definitely improved. He definitely won the 2015, in my opinion, 2015 most improved worker, most improved wrestler all around on any promotion, any roster. I think he was great. So yeah, that match was announced, and then we had the 2 out of 3 falls match, and which was awesome. Great match. 45 minutes. I believe that's the longest match in WWE since Shawn Michaels' match in 2009. I'll have to look that up.
From this one guy, he said, "What about Roadblock, huh?"
What about Roadblock? Oh, we'll talk about
the end of the show.
We're going to talk about Roadblock in a minute. We're going to go through NXT, and then we're going to hit SmackDown. This is actually a little bit of a longer show because this is our first show, and it's the end of the week. So we're going over the 3 main shows. Eventually, what we're going to do is we'll have a dedicated Raw show, probably we'll combine SmackDown and NXT because, I mean, SmackDown's only 2 hours, and NXT is only an hour. And then if there's ever a pay-per-view, we'll do, a pre-show for the pay-per-view and post-show for the paper. We're going to actually be on tomorrow after Roadblock 2 to give you our thoughts, and we'll be more prepared. I'll have notes for Roadblock and everything, and my opinions as I'm watching the show.
And this one guy commented, "Does anyone really give a crap if Goldust and R-Truth becomes a tag team?" No.
No. Absolutely not. But anyways, so what did you think of the 2 out of 3 falls match?
It was a stellar match, I thought. I mean,
we all knew Samoa Joe was going to win.
The Blue Thunder Bomb. I love the Blue Thunder Bomb. It is such a cool signature. I think it should be Sami Zayn's finisher. He has the Haluva kick as his glorified finisher.
It's the Haluva kick and Koji clutch, right? Right now.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe is the coquine. I always get them mixed up. Samoa Joe's and
Samoa Joe, the first pin was by Samoa Joe. He had a hard clothesline from hell, as I put in my notes, because that's what it looked like. And then he got a muscle buster off, which gave him the first pin. Sami Zayn got a Haluva kick. He went for the Haluva kick. Samoa Joe countered into the Coquina clutch, and Sami Zayn passed out for the second pin from Samoa Joe. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much more to say. I mean, you just go back and watch that match for sure, and you'll see what we're talking about. I mean, there's a lot of high spots, a lot of good action. I mean, all in all, probably one of the matches of the year. Not the match of the year, but it was a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
That was a great match.
Which one? The Neville? Oh, last week?
Neville
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was really good too. I mean, to me so far, do you have any match of the year candidates off the top of your head that you've seen so far in the WWE this year?
No, and if I have, it's all been from NXT.
Yeah, no, I mean for me, top of my
Even the
head,
tag team match this Monday, like that tag team match was
probably on Raw, that was the best match of the year for sure. But I was gonna say for me, and I know this is a WWE centered podcast, but for me, the match of the year was Okada Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 10. I mean, that was such a good match, and with Styles Nakamura a close second. I mean, if you haven't seen, I mean, it's almost worth signing up for New Japan World. It's only $8.88 a month. It's almost worth signing up just to watch those two matches. I mean, Wrestle Kingdom 10 was a great event. He didn't watch it. My brother didn't watch it, but I watched it. It was amazing. And yeah, then right afterwards you have Styles and Nakamura coming over to the WWE. All those rumors started swirling. So, but anyways, moving on. So that was NXT, and we got a Finn Balor Samoa Joe takeover match. In fact, before we get to SmackDown, what do you think?
Before we get to SmackDown, we got 5 viewers in here right now. Thank you guys for coming out. If you're enjoying this podcast, make sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. Be active in the chat. If you want us to answer some questions, we definitely will do that.
Yeah, definitely ask questions because this podcast has been a really long one, and it's late. I mean, on the West Coast it's only 10:08, but my brain isn't working at full speed now. I've been up all day. I've been up really since early in the morning. So ask us some questions, and I'll be happy to answer. But I was going to ask you, Steven, what do you think about the main event of NXT Takeover Dallas? What do you think, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe?
They can go many different ways with this one. You can have the Balor Club debut. You can have Joe beat Balor. Because, I mean, both of them need to be on the main roster.
You got to think whoever loses this match is going to be on the main roster soon enough. I can't see them debuting Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows without Finn Balor. And I've heard from everything I've heard, Gallows and Anderson aren't going to
Yeah, I just remembered that.
NXT.
I think Samoa Joe's winning this match then.
I mean, Samoa Joe already lost at the at Takeover London. I think he has to go over this match. I don't think they debuted that Balor Club. I would like to see the Balor Club, honestly, and this isn't going to happen, guys. This isn't going to happen. But wouldn't it be awesome if the Balor Club was what helped Shane McMahon beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania? I mean, that's kind of what it makes sense because I think if you debut the Balor Club, they have to be heel, right? But then they're going to get a huge pop. I don't know. It's difficult. But, I mean, the Balor Club is happening. I don't know if it's happening. All the merchandise they've been pushing. They have 2 different Balor Club shirts. Finn Balor has been posting all over his Instagram. Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows have been, replying and posting things as well. I mean, it's going to happen. When it happens, I don't know. They could wait till the summer. They could, because you know how they usually have a hot summer angle? Like every summer they have a hot summer angle. I think that could be their hot summer angle if they wait and if they decide to bring Samoa Joe up. But I kind of feel like they've had Finn Balor as a face champion for a while now in NXT, and they kind of need a heel champion so you can build one of the baby faces,
Seems like he's going that way.
To chase that title. Though, Samoa Joe, he needs to be up too. God, they need a main event heel, and he is so good.
Yeah, Baron Corbin just needs to win the NXT title already. Both of them just need to go up.
Yeah. Anyways,
SmackDown.
So SmackDown, yeah. So on SmackDown, we start off with it's the Miz TV segment, correct?
Yes,
which I thought was a great segment. I mean, Sami Zayn talked about his history of Kevin Owens. Miz interrupted him, saying, "No one cares about the this indie stuff, the stuff from 13 years ago. Who cares about that? Nah, we just want to hear why do you guys not like each other?" And Sami Zayn explained, how Kevin Owens betrayed him at the first when he won the NXT Championship at Kevin Owens' first takeover, yeah, he said, and Sami Zayn's basically, I don't know why Kevin Owens did what he did to this day, but, this is a rivalry, and wherever we go, we clash, we butt heads. Kevin Owens comes out. He talks about, hey, you know why I did what I did. I did what I did because it was what was best for me. And, yeah, this leads to basically a showdown between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens ducks out. Miz attacks Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn, unleashes hell on the Miz, beats the living crap out of the Miz. And then Neville came out too. I forgot about that, but I mean, Neville just came out basically saying, "I have beef with you too."
Yeah,
and
looking like it might be a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, I mean, or even more. You never know if they add 2 more people. You never know. They could even add Y2J and AJ if they wanted to.
My hope is, have those 6 in a ladder match.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
But I'd rather have a United States champion because I honestly feel like that's the lower title now.
I mean, we talked about this earlier, but I'm so just, broken when it comes to the whole Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens thing, because there's a couple things. I would love for them to have a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. I would love it. I don't think the WWE will build it correctly. But part of me is like, if we don't get it this year, will we ever get it? So then there's that. I mean, what if they don't do it this year, will they ever do it ever again? Personally, I'd prefer for that match to be for the WWE title, but I don't think unless Vince dies, which is, I know it's horrible to say, but I don't see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn main eventing WrestleMania ever, because Vince just those aren't his guys.
Smackdown was 300,000 people down.
I know. Well, it's because, I mean, you got to kind of look at like the previous week. I mean, SmackDown's been pretty good, but it's been
the better show than Raw, besides the one where Vince or Shane.
Yeah. No, I mean,
returned for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, you mean Raw was better when Shane returned? I understand what you're saying. No, I mean, SmackDown was going up against the GOP debate. It was also going up against some basketball games and other things. I mean, it was a pretty busy night when it came to television. So, I mean, 300,000 viewers, whatever. But the opening segment was pretty good, I thought, and it might set up that 4-way at WrestleMania. And that's what I was saying. I mean, if they go with a 4-way, I would like that only because you could have neither Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens take the pin, and you could have like Sami Zayn. We talked about this earlier, but since there's people watching now, you could have Sami Zayn hit the haluva kick on the Miz. You have Kevin Owens pull Sami Zayn out of the ring, hit a clothesline, powerbomb, what have you, and then steal Sami Zayn's victory. And then that sets up a 3-month program, you know what I mean, for the next couple pay-per-views between the two. I think that would be great. So I'm actually not against the multi-man match, even though originally I was. And originally I was like, hey, maybe have a ladder match for the United States title as the multi-man match. But I'm okay with this. So moving forward,
do you think they're going right back Kalisto at WrestleMania?
God, yeah, I do, and I'm not excited. It better be pre-show.
I will take a giant break.
I mean,
at the screen. That is such a break match.
I mean, is anyone interested in watching that?
No,
I didn't think so. Anyways, we have my favorite feud that we were talking about on Raw. We have the Brie Bella Summer Rae match. The rematch from Raw, and in 50-50 booking fashion. You have they had Brie Bella go over this time. Lana came in after the match, hit the Bella Buster again. Nothing really new. Once again, I don't get why Lana is helping Summer Rae. They spent 5 months with that feud, and now all of a sudden, you guys forgot about that. Forget about it. It never happened.
Creative does that way too much.
It's not. We're not dumb. I'm not dumb. You're not dumb. We remember. I mean, only 5-year-olds don't care. Anyways. So then next is my favorite segment of the week. Honestly, my favorite segment of the week. You had Chris Jericho came out and cut a scathing program. Yeah, it came out with a trash can and a Y2AJ shirt, which there was a big controversy about that. Like, they came out with the Y2AJ shirts only for him to turn heel the next week. Well, AJ was out. Y2J is building on that heat. He has the shirt, and
literally heat.
He literally lights the fucking thing on fire.
Yeah.
He talks about it's basically
never been hurt in WWE.
He's never been hurt in the WWE. He talks about why he's the best in the world at what he does. Shout out CM Punk. It basically says, hey, you guys were cheering. Kind of, he went over what he said on Monday. Hey, you guys were cheering for AJ instead of me, and I've been here. I've been durable. I've been the best in the world at what I did on everything that I've done in the ring, on the mic. Oh God, I sound like CM Punk, don't I? But basically, he goes over that and lights Y2AJ's shirt on fire, and then he was like laughing maniacally. Like, it was kind of a creepy
Hey,
segment.
he also said that he's a rookie, and then he's like, "Yes, he's a rookie."
Yes, he's a rookie, dude. He's so good. I'm
And
loving the Y2AJ stuff, except I honestly, I'm not. I like the segments. I'm not excited for the match just because we've seen it
yeah,
already
3
But
times.
the segments have been great, and if it's gonna bring, I mean, at least they're treating AJ like he's important. He's not just in a low card feud with Singara or something, or Kalisto. I mean, uh, anyways, moving forward, we have the best match of the night, which is Lucha Dragons versus the League of Nations, and
Hey,
great.
there's only one thing I can say about this match, dude. Their ring gear were dope. I love the black and gold for on like Sin Cara. I thought their ring gear was fresh, but
Yeah, no,
that's,
I mean, that's
that's
cool,
all
but
I can say because the match is just whatever.
I mean, you can expect you got your high flying spots with the Lucha Dragons, and but at the end of the day, I was surprised Roy Barrett got the pinfall victory after he took the loss on Monday, and
Yeah, hit the
it seems like they
bullhammer.
haven't been doing much with him lately. But he gets the victory, and League of Nations wins. I don't know. I mean, are they even having? Are they having the League of Nations match against the New Day on Sunday? They are.
Saturday.
They are on Saturday, yeah, tomorrow. So I mean, maybe I think that was just to make the League of Nations look strong going into their tag team match tomorrow. They had 2 wins this week, and makes sense. I wonder, do you think the League of Nations New Day feud is going to go towards? Well, we'll talk about that later. Let's move on. We're almost done with SmackDown.
Yeah,
You have
backstage segment with the Usos. I don't even remember this.
it was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, you have that.
They said they grew up watching them. You know, they have no respect for them.
I've heard that promo
Yeah.
before. It was what it was. And then you had the main event with the Wyatt family versus Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, and the Usos. And basically, they buried the Wyatt family once again. Dean Ambrose got over because he needed to get over because he's going against Triple H
Ambrose
on
before the
Sunday.
match said tonight they go Wyatt hunting, and Saturday he wins the WWE title.
This episode of SmackDown, to me, I thought it was pretty good, but it kind of blew its load early. The first opening segment, the mid segment between the first hour and the second hour were the highlights of the show, and then it seemed like near the end they were just kind of like, here you go. You know what I mean? And they gave Ambrose some heat going into tomorrow, which is good. But I mean, it was what it was. We all knew who was going to win that match. But I mean, SmackDown to me has been overperforming over the last couple weeks. And Mauro Ranallo just brings so much to that broadcast team. I like the King as a heel. It's a much more watchable show. It's only 2 hours.
Yeah, the 2 major keys are the 2 hours and Mauro Ranallo, because you got Mauro Ranallo who actually knows what moves are instead of Michael Cole who just says, "Whoa."
Well, okay, but to be fair, Vince doesn't let Michael Cole say moves. Vince is in Michael Cole's ear the entire night, whereas Vince doesn't show up to SmackDown taping, so Mauro can do what he wants. Like, that's what kind of scares me about Mauro on the main roster. And by the way, Mauro is still leaps and bounds above Michael Cole. I was kind of defending Michael Cole, but Michael Cole, even at his best, isn't Mauro at his worst. Mauro is in a different league than Michael Cole. But yeah, but Mauro. But that's what scares me about Mauro going to the main Raw or to Raw with maybe Corey Graves, is that you'll have Vince McMahon. God damn it! Why are you talking about the moves? No one cares about the moves. Talk about the story. Make
another
cheesy jokes
from the King of Arkansas. He said the Undertaker's almost 100 years old. Is it really that big of a deal when someone wrestles him in a match?
I mean, he's going against a 46-year-old son of the owner of the company who isn't really a work. I don't know. I mean, it's wrestling, right? And we all know that wrestling's a work. We all know that it's scripted outcomes. And the Undertaker's a character, and he's a great character. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's just because I'm a little bit past the generation that grew up with, like, I grew up with the Undertaker during his ministry days, during the Attitude Era. This kid right here, he was way past that. I mean, this kid was alive during the Attitude Era, but he wasn't old enough to remember.
Awareness so, with wrestling is Kurt Angle and Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, so to me, The Undertaker, he's been a loyal company hand for 20 years. I think once the streak was ended, he kind of lost a lot of his luster. I always was kind of, I mean, and this is me, this is what's weird, because a lot of people that you will watch on other podcasts, they grew up with The Undertaker, they grew up with maybe Hogan, and they've been with The Undertaker since the beginning, and they will say the streak should have never ended. See, every year I was rooting for the streak to end. But I was hoping to be like CM Punk or something, one of the younger guys who could have used that to just go to monster status. I mean, Brock Lesnar didn't need that win, and it's kind of sad that Undertaker doesn't even remember that match because he got concussed like in the first 10 minutes and had to get rushed to the hospital afterwards. So I mean, it was kind of a train wreck.
I wish Finn Balor broke that record.
Yeah, Finn Balor or Bray Wyatt. In fact, it should have been Bray
over someone like.
It absolutely should have been Bray, in my opinion. Like, that was my opinion. You have Bray Wyatt come in, break the streak, and now he's the new Undertaker for the next 20 years. You have him have a streak. But now he has the opposite Undertaker streak. He has the 0-3 streak at WrestleMania because fuck the fans. Fuck getting anyone over. We got to put our part-time guys over, or our part-time guys or Cena over all the younger talent.
And that was Punk's issue. One of them.
But anyways, moving on, we got Roadblock tomorrow.
Roadblock, and I got this card all loaded up here.
I got the card as well. So it looks like the way it's going to be Brock Lesnar. I don't know if this is the order it's going to be in. I have a feeling that Brock Lesnar versus Wyatt might be the co-main event, but on my list, that's the first match listed. You got Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt. What's your prediction for that match?
4-minute squash match.
Do you think they get any? Do you think they let Wyatt get any offense in at all?
It's just a tiny hair. I mean, then he'll beat up everyone in the Wyatt family. He'll hit Braun out of the ring, and Braun will land on his feet.
So basically, like the Beast in the East match with the New Day. Except Kofi got 0 offense.
Yeah, they're gonna
they'll have Wyatt dodge. They'll have Wyatt dodge maybe a German suplex or something like that, or a punch, and he'll get something in, maybe one of his signatures in, and then Lesnar will pop right back up. Suplex City, F5 over. Wyatt family rushes the ring. They get all F5'd. Done. And yeah, I agree. It's probably not going to be more than 5 minutes. And sad too, because Bray Wyatt Lesnar was supposed to be a WrestleMania feud, and now look at where Wyatt doesn't even have anything going on for him at all.
Nothing.
I heard that Mick Foley is rumored to be a part of a storyline with someone, and I gotta assume it might have to do with Wyatt, and maybe Foley will back a wrestler to go against him.
But why?
Yeah, it's tough, man. They've really buried Bray. And it's sad because he's one of honestly, to me, he is one of their top 3 talents. And you could say, his promos are so boring, they're so repetitive. Well, that's because they've booked him to be that way, and they've buried him to the point where his promos don't mean anything. Because when he talks about converting people, when he talks about being the new face of fear, when has he ever converted anyone? And when has he been scary? Because he loses all the time. If they had him win, then he would be the new face of fear, and he would be converting people. But
hey, now they just have him saying the same stuff in those backstage segments. He doesn't come out and cut the long promos anymore.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
I'm so excited to talk about this next match.
The New Day versus League of Nations?
No, the NXT Tag Team title match.
I have the New Day versus League of Nations next, but we can go at NXT Tag. I think they're going to start the show with the NXT Tag Team title match because I think, you know why? Because it's going to be a hot open, and they like to start the match off. They start the night off usually with a crowd that's going to, or with a match that's going to get the crowd hot. The Revival versus Enzo and Cass. Yeah, this is probably the match of the night for me already because
it could go either way.
It could go any way, and right now the plan, I believe, at NXT TakeOver Dallas is to have the tag team champions, the Revival, go against Gable and Jordan for the tag team championships. But that can all change. And that's what's interesting about this match. Because do the writers of NXT decide, hey, we want to have our 2 most over tag teams face off at NXT TakeOver Dallas and have that place erupt? erupt. I mean, could you imagine? You're going to have, I don't know what stadium they're at, but you're going to have like 16, 17,000 people in that arena, you know, chanting along with Enzo and Cass. You're going to have them singing the Gable, Gable. Like, dude, it's going to be such a fun match to watch if they decide to go that route.
Yeah, it could go either way because they changed the NXT tag or championship on Beast of the East, where
They
Finn
did.
Balor beat.
Oh, you mean not the tag team
or-
champion? You meant the actually NXT
yeah.
championship. Yeah.
So they can for sure change the tag team titles then.
They definitely can, and I mean, I think that would be the right call because even if Enzo and Cass are getting called up to the main roster soon, unless here's the thing. Here's what I think: if you're going to call them up to face the New Day at WrestleMania, do it, and don't have them win the championships. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. So what I think, if Enzo and Cass aren't going to be at WrestleMania, then you have them because they haven't won the NXT Tag Team Champions, and that's kind of a travesty. They should have won at Brooklyn last year. They didn't. So you need to have them have a run with it, and no one will be mad if they drop the titles like 2 or 3 weeks later to the second most, if not more, over tag team in NXT.
Yes, everyone wants that match.
Everyone wants that match. I want that match. So I think
the Revival are great, but
they're good. The Revival are great at what they do. They're the best.
NXT,
they're the most technically. They're the most technically sound tag team in NXT. They're good heels. And I mean, they do deserve a spot on that takeover card, by the way. I mean, if they get pushed down somehow, if they lose the championships, who's another? They could go against the Vaudevillains or something. Well, no, Vaudevillains are heel now too.
But are they?
Yeah, that's one part of NXT that I'm not really too happy about. But I don't know. We'll figure it out, I guess. Maybe have them face a new tag team. What are the tag teams in NXT right now?
Blake and Murphy.
And they're heels too. They don't have any face tag teams except for American Alpha and Enzo and Cass. Oh well. Anyways, I don't care. I want to see Enzo and Cass versus American Alpha.
Speaking of, I don't care about this tag team title match. New Day's gonna win. It's Sheamus and King
nice
Barrett
segue.
versus.
Nice segue. Yeah. I mean, we know the New Day's gonna win, unless God forbid they have the League of Nations win to set up the rematch at WrestleMania.
This show is probably going to be a glorified house show anyway. The only title change that's going to happen
would be the NXT.
Would be the NXT.
Well, not necessarily, because we're about to talk about the main event, and I have a couple ideas that aren't going to happen. But I see New Day winning, and then they might continue this feud. But I'm hoping that the fact that they're having this match now, which, by the way, would be 2 title defenses for the New Day within the span of a week. I think the fact that they're having this match now means that they're going to move on from it. Because unless they had the League of Nations win, but that would just be a horrible booking move. Because okay, yes, they're bad guys, and yes, you don't want the bad guys to win the championship, but we don't want them to not win the championship because they're bad guys. We just don't want them to win the championships because we don't care and they suck. You know what I mean? Like, the League of Nations, failed experiment in my mind.
All they have is cool ring music.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, so what's your prediction for that match? Are you gonna go New Day? Me, New Day?
Obviously, New Day.
All right.
No chance. I mean, King Barrett's on the other team.
Next match, we got the main event. We got what should be the WrestleMania main event.
Nah, Natalya, Charlotte, Divas.
I don't have that.
That's a match.
Wait, Natalya's going to get Charlotte for the Divas champion?
I'm on this updated card on Wrestling Geek right now.
What the fuck? I printed this off.
It said title match added. So.
Oh, was this like recent breaking news? Oh, because I printed this off my card from Wrestling Inc. like maybe 2-3 hours ago. So this must have been tonight. They announced it at the house show or something.
It should be a decent match.
Oh, it should be a great match.
Obviously, yeah. Natalya's really good in the ring. Charlotte's good in the ring.
Oh, she's pretty good. She's good when she's with a really good worker. Charlotte's been great as a heel, and her and Ric Flair, that whole act has been great. I mean, Ric Flair is the whole. I know, man. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, obviously, it'll be a really good technical match with a very predictable ending.
Club, you love it.
You love it. Okay, but come on now. They don't get. I mean, not everyone watches What Culture. Anyways, but the main event tonight or the main event tomorrow night or tonight if you're on the East Coast or London or anywhere else in the world besides the West Coast or Hawaii, is going to be what should be the main event of WrestleMania, in my opinion. You got Triple H versus Dean Ambrose.
A lot of build up for this match. It's for the championship.
A lot of build up for this match. A couple things. Do you think Roman Reigns is going to appear in this match?
Yeah, but under what circumstances?
Do you think possibly? I mean, honestly, the only way I see Roman Reigns coming out,
it'd be after the match.
It would be after the match. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to turn him heel, you could have him. It's not going to happen. I know.
Triple H is already the heel going into WrestleMania. He's in the.
I'm just saying.
Authority.
That's not what I think is gonna. That's not the theory I had, by the way, what they could do if they wanted to shake things up. But if Roman Reigns comes out, it'll be after the match because Triple H is going to be beating the living shit out of Ambrose. And then they're going to have Ambrose get his ass saved again by Roman Reigns, making Ambrose look like a pussy and Roman Reigns look like a Samoan badass god that he is that no one cares about. And he's going to get booed. Maybe not actually because it's a house show crowd originally. And house show crowds have been pretty
about
nice.
Your live event experience with Roman.
Oh, you guys could. I used to have it pinned on my Twitter. I don't anymore. Maybe I'll pin it up there after this. But I sat second row, ringside, on the hard, which would be the hard camera side.
Yeah, that was at NXT San Jose, and I wanted
not NXT, WWE San Jose.
Oh yeah,
you and I went to NXT San Jose last year.
I just like NXT so much.
But I went with my girlfriend to that, and I sat ringside, second row, and I sat aisle where Roman Reigns comes down and he jumps over. And as he was coming by, I patted him on the back, and and he was going against Alberto Del Rio that night. I was like, "Don't worry, buddy. Alberto's gonna make you look strong. He's gonna make you look real strong, Roman. Go get him." And I have video of it if you want to see it. I'm not lying.
I would have gone to that, but my friend invited me to a Warriors game before that whole engagement, so I didn't want to turn him down. Yeah, that was AJ Styles live event debut too.
It was pretty cool. Good event. But but so obviously I think we both agree that Triple H is probably going to win this match. However, if they wanted to throw a wrench into plans, if they wanted to have you could have Ambrose somehow win this match. I don't know how, but you could have him somehow win this match
by DQ,
which would be huge. No, well, I guess you could have him win by DQ too. But if you had him win the belt, then you have a legitimate reason why Triple H would want his rematch at WrestleMania. And then you'd also have Roman Reigns, who is owed his match at WrestleMania because he won, or not because he won the Royal Rumble, because he won the triple threat match, number one contender match. And then Brock Lesnar as well. Like, fuck, I got screwed in the number one contender match. And then also, I was supposed to have a match with Dean Ambrose. You could have a fatal four-way main event with those four guys.
Yeah, that could take up an hour of the show, too.
That could take up an hour of the show, and that would be a fantastic match. I don't care. We were talking shit about triple threats and fatal four-ways earlier about how I don't care. With those four guys, I think they could make it work. And I think it would be intriguing. I think you would – we all kind of know what's going to happen with WrestleMania, right? We all know that basically it's Roman Reigns' homecoming, his christening as the chosen one, right? That's what we know. He's going to go over Triple H. We've known this since before Triple H won the championship at the Royal Rumble. Well, we knew Triple H was going to win the championship at the Royal Rumble. At least I did. I don't know about you. I thought he would. So I mean, you have Ambrose win this here, and I think you have a legitimate case. I mean, I think it would be a great. It'd make things more interesting. Let's put it that way. And then you can finally have maybe the Ambrose or Reigns heel turn at WrestleMania.
It's probably going to be Ambrose because they want Reigns to be the top face, even though.
Which is ridiculous to me because why wouldn't you have? I mean,
the dude that's getting cheered more.
Well, Ambrose is we talked about this earlier. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but Ambrose is so over. I mean, or at least the crowd really wants him to be like they want him to be the guy. But, I mean, honestly, what's probably going to happen is it's going to be a really hard-fought match. I think Ambrose will get his offense in. He'll look strong in the match. But at the very end, Triple H will pull it out, hit his pedigree, and that'll be the match. Maybe Triple H beats him up. I honestly think Reigns is going to show up after the match.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking.
I think that's going to happen.
Is going to
Ambrose. because then that builds to that also builds to WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Because then next Monday on Raw, for one, that would be Roman Reigns getting his comeuppance because Triple H put him out for 2 weeks. Then on Raw, Roman Reigns could, Triple H has a reason to be pissed off. Roman Reigns has a reason to be pissed off, and they can go from there. So that's what's probably going to happen. And I think that's going to be it for the podcast tonight. I think it was a long podcast. Most podcasts will not be this. Most podcasts will not be this long. This is our first podcast, and we decided to cover all 3 shows in the WWE this week. Well, minus like main event and superstars, because who gives a fuck who watches this? But anything else to say, man? Or are we done?
Well, all there is to say is thank you to all the viewers that came out.
Make sure to follow, like, subscribe. If you want to follow me on Twitter, and I'm going to pin that Roman video to my profile, follow me on Twitter at IggyGQ. That is at IGGYGQ. And what about you?
Well, my Twitter is at Steven IGNATIEFF. I will. And
we'll be back tomorrow with a live stream after Roadblock. Telling you our thoughts going forward. I'm excited for it. I mean, I know it's a glorified house show, but I am excited for it. So we'll see you then, guys.
Put your predictions in the comments too. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because then we'll and ask some questions, because we'll answer questions tomorrow on our live stream, and our live stream will be directly following Roadblock, which I think Roadblock starts at like 7:30, right? Which would be, or it starts at wait, is it 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific, or I said Pacific.
Oh, we missed another comment. Okay, my bad.
Oh, what did the guy say?
Is it just me, or does it seem like all the really good WWE wrestlers are out of the picture because of injuries? Like Orton, Cena, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Edge, Christian, Cesaro.
You're absolutely right. And it sucks, and that's why WrestleMania is kind of looking crappy, but you never know. They can pull something out of their ass like they did last year. So, all right, guys.
Looking pretty decent, so.
I mean, it's all right. I could be better.
Decent.
I would have done things differently, but
they're selling the tickets, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course they are. It's WrestleMania. So, all right. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and we are gone. Peace out.
Peace out.